Hello, my fans and friends, and enemies, frenemies, family, whoever watches this, I don't care. I wanted to give my response, my feedback to the video Nintendo put out, 3, 4, 5 days ago about the Nintendo Switch, previously known as the Nintendo NX. I'm going to say some things people really don't agree with, things I'll probably get a lot of flack for, but I really don't care. This is my opinion, so suck it. I'm going to do this in two parts. First, I'm going to talk about the ad, or the commercial itself, and then I'm going to talk about the console, and my feelings on both. First of all, the ad is terrible. The ad is horrible. I mean, I'll explain what I mean here. The ad opens with, like, a vision of the future, right? Like, we all have this game. The guy has the game already. He's in his place playing this new console. It's out already. Like, this is the future tense, is what this ad's supposed to be. And it shows this guy in his apartment playing his game, playing Zelda, which is all cool and great. He's like, oh, he's into his game. And then the dog has to go out. Okay, well, let the dog out. He's like, oh, wait, I can't put my game down. I can't stop my game. So to demonstrate how cool this console is and how disconnected he has to be from reality, he has to put the thing into the cradle and take it out. Like, I just got to take this game with me to let my dog out. I can't be away from this for 20 minutes to let my dog out and have time with my dog. And we see him sitting outside now with his game in his handheld while the dog's running around, and he's just, like, just disconnected. It's like, you can't spend 20 minutes of human time with your dog. Like, you're the caretaker of this animal, and you can't be away from freaking Zelda to care for your dog? Okay. That was the first thing I know. It's like 30 seconds into the commercial. Maybe not even that long. I'm like, this is going to be terrible. Like, I gotta tell this is going to be just embarrassingly bad. And then it shows him traveling to the airport, playing on his game. And then he gets in the plane. He props up the console on his little food tray. He's just sitting like a douchebag, like, you're playing my game on the plane. That part I will give a little bit of a pass on, because I do understand, you know, when I travel, I play my 3DS because there's just nothing left to do on a plane. There's nothing to look at. There's no one really to talk to. You're not gonna, so you'll disconnect yourself a little bit. But just the fact that he's like just got the two, like a little Wii U station, just like, you look like a oh my god. He gets off the plane and gets to his hotel or wherever he was going. As soon as he gets there, just props the game back down to that cradle and starts playing again. Like, his whole through line of his life is just playing this game. Like, that's it. Nothing else will take him away. He can't spend time with his dog. He can't just... Oh my gosh. Oh my god. And that's just the first little skit about this thing. The next one is this woman in her apartment playing some new Mario game or whatever, and she's having a good old time. That's great. And then her friends across the way are like, hey, come hang out with us. We're hanging out and having a good social time. She's like, oh, okay, I gotta take my game with me. And she shows up to this party with the game, and she's like, hey, friends, let's play this game, because I can't be away from my game for 1 second. I get the idea. It's supposed to show there's this, I'll say, social aspect that you can take this game with you and play with your friends immediately, but can't you just talk to each other, you know, be a human for a little bit without this fucking game being part of your life? It's just amazing to me how it's like straight on the point Nintendo is about. You gotta play this game all the time. Take it everywhere you can. And then the next scene is these guys in a van traveling to a go-kart rink. Is that what they're called? Go-kart rinks? Go-kart tracks? Whatever. And they're on the van playing Mario Kart in the van. Okay, fine. I get it. You're still connected to the game, which is the whole point of the ad. Then they drive to the go-kart place, and I swear in my head, I'm thinking, they're just going to go inside and sit in, like, the picnic area of this place and keep playing this game. Like, I believed that was what was going to happen. Like, that was where the writing was going. That was the direction this ad was going to go. Incredibly, that's not what happened. They went inside and they actually raced go-karts. And I swear to Satan on this, I watched and made sure they were actually racing and not, like, playing on their games while they're racing. Because I totally could have believed at that point that would have happened in that ad. And that's the only sliver of humanity in this entire ad, is these guys actually put the game down and go kart racing. Okay, that's partially not true, but the next part is people actually playing basketball. So a little bit of hope here, a little bit of hope. This group of people playing basketball, actual basketball, like outside in a real court with a real ball, with a real net. They're playing basketball, like, oh, it's great. They're moving around. They're being together. They're having a good time together. And they stop playing basketball. They stopped playing real basketball to go sit down and play basketball on the new console. Like, they all just stop being active together and go sit down and look at this little screen to play basketball in a video game. You stop reality. It's like, that's a great metaphor for what's happening. We're taking reality and just sucking it into video games. Like, yeah, you don't need to do that. Just come play a real game. That's all you gotta do. It was just embarrassingly bad. And then the final skit or part of this, whatever, was a group of people sitting on the ground and like looked like a hotel conference room or something, mapping out this little plan, this little strategy map or something. I looked at it and thought, I wonder if this is supposed to demonstrate that the console has more than just gaming capabilities. Maybe there's some sort of like research tactics or whatever this thing can do. Maybe that's what they're doing. But no, they were just running plans on how to play this game against this other team that they smash cut to, showing them making a similar plan on the ground, like, okay, this is what we'll do, like a sports thing. And speaking of sports things, that's how this ends. It's these teams of people walking into this arena full of people, and when I saw that happen, I'm like, oh, please don't let this be what I think it's going to be. Oh my God, please don't let this be what I think it's going to be. And they walk up to this stage, and I'm like, they're going to play this game, aren't they? Like, that's what this is leading up to. Like, there's no way this is going to happen. And this sure as shit, they sit down in these stupid chairs, swivel around, put on the headphones, they're playing this game in front of just this audience of people. It's like your entire life is just plugged into this game. Like, that's all life is. And at that point, I swear, I looked at the picture of the wide shot of the audience. I'm like, that audience is having more social life than those people are playing that game. They're just sucked into the game. They're just, that's all they're doing now. So, and again, I understand the point of advertising is to, get you attracted to the product, of course, and demonstrate what it can do. In 3.5 minutes, you got to cram in all the things it can do that we don't know about yet. No one's really said this is this is that. Nothing was said at E3. I mean, E3 was basically just Zelda the whole time. When I was there, you'd walk around the booth, Zelda, Zelda, Zelda. Nothing about any consoles. No mention about NX. Nothing. It was all just the new Zelda game, which was fine. But I understand the ad has to kind of showcase what this thing can do. But the idea that the future is going to be just you're plugged into this game the whole time, it was just so badly written and so poorly directed. Anyway, I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of shit for that. I don't really care, but that's just that's how I feel. The first time I saw it, like the first time I watched it, I went, that was terrible. Like, that was horrible. But aside from that, it has nothing to do with the console itself. The console itself, I think, is gonna be great. The concept for the console is beautiful. It is something I can't believe it's taken this long to do, to merge the console aspect and the handheld aspect together. I can't believe it's taken this long again. In case no one ever knew this, back in the early 90s, Sega actually had the Sega Genesis and the Sega Nomad. The Sega Nomad was a handheld, kind of like the Game Gear, but it played the same cartridges that the Genesis played. So you take like the Mortal Kombat cartridge out, put it in the Genesis, play it on your home TV all wired up, take it out, slap it in the Nomad, and it played the same media. That was great. That was an incredible idea. I can't believe it's taken this long to kind of reintroduce again. That was a great idea. The problem is, back then, I think the Nomad took like 4D batteries or something ridiculous. I don't know. You can let me know. I don't know. I didn't look into it. But it was something. The battery technology back then was crap. That was not as good as it is now. So obviously, this new console is going to thrive with the way the technology is. So that's great. That's a great idea. And even before the Nomad, TurboGrafx, or the PC Engine in Japan, had a handheld version called the Turbo Express. And it was the same idea. The TurboGrafx played these little cue cards. They were so... Actually, you know what? Let me get one here. Here, okay, check this out. Check this out. Alright, check this out. This is the games... In case you didn't know, this is the games that the TurboGrafx played. These little cards. They're a credit card, a little thicker than a credit card. This was the game. This was the game on the TurboGrafx. This is like 1989, 1990. Like, this blew me away. I couldn't believe they didn't keep going on with this kind of technology. And that was amazing. I thought that was great. And so the TurboGrafx played that media, and then the Turbo Express, the handheld version, played the same one. So you didn't have to buy, the mobile version and the console version. Because like the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Game Boy didn't both play the same cartridges. They had their own ports. So I think it's beautiful and a great idea that they're finally coming back to that. Nintendo did the right thing putting that together and making it great. Commercial just is embarrassing on that behalf. But I think it's going to be great. So far as I can tell, the controllers come off. You got little Wiimote things. You can turn them sideways, kind of like the Wii's. Got games that you can play sideways. All good ideas. There's already a small list of release titles for it. The new Zelda game's going to be on it, so, got to get that. So I'm really happy Nintendo's doing what they're doing. I think that console's going to be great, so you can ignore all the facts I said about the ad. The ad I can hate on all I want, but it doesn't reflect on the console itself. I think the console is going to be amazing. The game's going to be great. I'm not that excited about it. I mean, I'm talking about it, of course, because it's what's current and it's something at least to reflect on. But I'm not going to be one of the guys that's like lined up at midnight to get the console on launch day or anything like that. I'll probably wait at least a month, get a feeling for the temperature of the market and what people say about the console. I'm sure it'll be great. Um, I can't say for sure it will be because no one knows yet. But like I said, I'm not gonna be like one of the first people to get it. I'm not gonna be that guy. I do love Zelda, and I know that's one of the big attractions about it is the new Zelda game. But I'll wait to play it on that console. Um, so that's kind of my thoughts on it. I know there's like a lot of specs and technical information that are still kind of being sifted through, whatever. Still coming through the pipes in terms of what we're gonna get in terms of resolution. I'm not sure if that information is available yet. What the resolution is on the handheld as opposed to the screen. All that kind of fine print, I'm not really concerned with. I just want to kind of give my feedback on basically the hype that Nintendo wanted to put out with that commercial. And so this is my reaction to that hype attempt. That 3.5 minutes was just me going, this is the whole future's gonna be like this. That this is what you're trying to sell me. This is your effort. Okay. I would have much rather seen like a demo, like a specs demo. Like they do at E3 or with other teasing consoles. Like here's what it looks like. Here's what it can do. Here's the buttons. This is what we call these parts. This is the dimensions. This is the estimated battery life. Like just like a press conference almost. I'd rather see that than you're gonna be plugged in this thing all the time. Like in that ad, there was like no dialogue. Like there was no on screen like this is what it does. This is the size. No kind of specs were given. No dialogue was given up until like the end when there was kind of like that muffled conversation between the teams working together, of course. And then the final like the only dialogue you really hear was Nintendo Switch. Okay, like I didn't learn anything really. I mean, all I learned was what it looks like, and it can be taken from home to outside when your dog's out or when your friends call you over and you have to be plugged into your game all the time. So I didn't really learn anything from the ad, which I thought was a real bummer. So that's why I don't have much to say about the console itself. It looks awesome. The concept of like I said, the home console to mobile device isn't anything new, but it's something that's finally been reintroduced, which is great. And I think Nintendo's going to make a big impression with that. So I'm kind of repeating myself because there's not a lot to say because there's not a lot of information on the console itself. But I've kind of said what I wanted to say and kind of reflected and got angry about the parts I wanted to get angry about. So that's it. As more information comes out, I might make some other videos. Probably won't, but if anything really interesting happens or changes, I'll let you know. So until then, we'll see what happens.